So is that the female then? When it has
Yeah. Here's a male.
Okay, yeah.
It's a little darker head. More of a humpback.
Whoa! Oh!
Well, that wasn't very nice.
Slippery little devil. I know. You got some energy too. Oh, wow, look at that red.
Jeez. Yeah, so you can see the sperm coming out. Is there a little plastic bag somewhere?
That Tupperware thing?
Yeah.
No, that was up there.
Go try to find it. So we have males and females in here, so that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, so we can try to spawn a couple. These guys here, they eat those little tiny copepods. And these are fish that are known for eating really small prey. So they have a structure called a gill raker on that. Ooh. I'm not getting them on the gravel anymore. On the so the gill has two functions. There's some red filaments that is where the blood interacts and gets oxygen.
You need some triple two.
I do. I didn't bring any.
Yeah.
I should have. It's funny. Usually we go a little bit later in the run. They're much less. Here, we can look at them from the other side, maybe. If you look down their throat, you can see those little fine teeth.
Yeah.
And so that's what they strain out zooplankton with. So they eat these little copepods that are less than a millimeter big. So what they do is they grab a bunch of water in their mouth, and they close their mouth, and then they open the back of the gills and force the water out over those gill rakers. Then they do this little closed back flush and then swallow what they've got on the gill rakers. So most like salmon, if you looked at like a brown trout or a rainbow, they'd have big spaces in between because they're mostly eating insects and things that are, 10 millimeters, if you think about what you're fishing with. So these guys are especially good for, can you find that little couple thing or? I'll go back and get it. So mostly they're really good for harvesting those zooplankton resources. So a lot of these reservoirs around here don't grow many insects. The water levels fluctuate so much. Like you saw here, this is pretty high. This is super high for this time of year, the water level. A couple of months ago it was down another 30 feet or so. So it's really come up since May or whatever. So, and that's usually this time of year, that's what they would be, would be really low. What that does is it means that there's almost no aquatic vegetation around the edges because the rooted plants can't ever find a good space because the water's so fluctuating. So most of the productivity is in the water, and it's all these small zooplankton. So the reason that the Division of Wildlife Resources planted these was to try to take advantage of that. So they were in waters that other trout wouldn't grow very well. There were not very many insects, but there's lots of zooplankton. So that was kind of the rationale. Okay, how can we grow some fish on something that other fish aren't eating? But they're completely exotic, right?
Yeah, that red color is.
So, well, and plus, they're the Pacific Northwest drainages that go to the Pacific. And this drainage hasn't gone to the Pacific in, 50,000 years or so. So that was the last time that, about 12,000 years ago, Lake Bonneville spilled into the Snake. So I guess 12,000 years ago, they could have gotten there. Yeah. But 50,000 years ago, the drainages were very different here, and there was a really good connection to the ocean. The Snake River, instead of going into the Columbia, went straight west and into the Klamath River Basin, and then out into the ocean that way. So it wasn't even that far compared to now. To do that. So what I want to do is try to, you want to hold that, and we'll try to get some eggs out of a female. That's a male.
That's a male.
Okay. Thought we had 2 females and 1 male, but that's the other way around. These might be all males. So we need to catch another fish.
Not as far as I know. I'll have to tack it up on the rate board up on campus though.
So some of them show the male drop head fish.
It's like we have to go catch us a female.
I think you have to catch a female.
All right.
You want to give
Let's
it a
do it.
try?
Yeah.
We'll
Same's out.
do that again. So what we were going to try to do is get some eggs, fertilize them here, and then take them back to school and let them develop.
Yeah.
If you have a really good hatchery system, you could develop them all the way to hatching in April.